Top of the day to you out there. I say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Any TV. We are global and social commentators. Today, we want this section to be an interactive section. I know you are out there listening to me, and I just want you to respond, even though I can't hear you, but I can insinuate what your answer will be. So, if I offer you 10 million naira, do you think it will be enough to start a business? I think so too. And I think if the business go well, in 6 months, you could well employ somebody to assist you. And that will mean that the 10 million within the course of a year has given opportunity or has created 2 jobs with just 10 million naira. Peter Obi has always preached about wastage. That one of the problem we have is wastage. And why has this been a problem that could not be solved? Because the leaders we put, the leaders that finally find their way to the top, leaders that finally find their way to councillor, to local government chairman, to governors, to ministers, to the House of Assembly, Senate, and to the presidency, are all greedy people. Greedy in the sense that they are selfish. They just think about themselves alone and the immediate people around them. Like what Atiku said, that if he had the opportunity of becoming the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, he's going to make his friends and family rich. So why we are making this video is just that every year, every decade, Nigeria as a country is getting poorer and poorer and poorer. What do we mean? The GP, the revenue is getting thinner and thinner and thinner. While we are producing millionaires. But you know what? The ratio, the propensity between the rich and the poor is very wide. In fact, United Nations have said that in Nigeria now, you don't have middle class. Is either you are extremely rich or you are below the poverty line and you are struggling. And at the base, wretched people who are hungry, who could not feed themselves. That is how Nigeria is now. We have a lot of inequality, class segregation. And this, Peter Obi has said, is because we have leaders who are not compassionate, who does not have empathy for the poor masses, who are up there and the louder, up there, and they forget about those at the base. Forgetting it was those at the base that voted for them to go in. Remember the 5 C's that Peter Obi preached: character, capacity, competent, compassion, and all the rest. So, Peter Obi has said, like we said before, if we have a good leader who look at the resources and then distribute it to help the masses, that is the kind of leader that can change Nigeria. And that is the kind of leader Nigerians are looking for. And that is why Nigerians have vehemently rejected Emilio Kong, because he is not the kind of leader we are looking for. Just look at what happened the other day. He went to the summit, the World Summit. We heard he was there. We saw picture that he was there. He took picture with the Nigerians there too. He also took some pictures with some businessmen. But did he really make a significant impact? Wouldn't it have been better if Mr. Emilio Kong had sent somebody to represent him? Because he was good as if he did not go. He did not have a significant impact like the president from Tanzania, president from Kenya, president from South Africa. He did not. And when the summit finished, instead of coming home, he went to London. Remember, the summit was held in France. He now went to London to see his predecessor. Yeah. So when he came back, there was a big party organized for him at the airports. Remember, he has been sworn in, party has been organized for him. Even dinner was even organized after the swearing in, where we watch him and his vice dancing. So the inauguration has already taken place, celebration has already been done. So why would he come back again to Lagos? And what we saw remind us of Peter Gregory Obi, how he has described Nigeria. He has described Nigeria as a country that is wasteful. Wasteful. You see, if Nigeria was rich, it's a different ball game. But this is a country that is owing 77 trillion. This is a country that 130 million people are below poverty line. This is a country UNICEF said that 20 million children are malnourished. They know the seafood job. So, Nigeria, in the scale of poor countries, that's when we talk about countries that are rich, but from the bottom, we are number 2. We are number 2. So, that is why Peter Obi is singing. Nigeria is not buoyant enough. It's just take it like this analogy that I'm going to make. You are a poor man. You are not earning much. You used to be very rich. Fine. But right now, your situation now demands that you should live a very quiet and gentle life because you don't have the finance to live the way you used to live. And you said, no, I'm going to marry 4 wives, 6 wives. At the end of the day, what are you bringing to yourself? Anarchy, kata problem. And for you to be able to survive, you now introduce measures that are criminally minded to survive. Somebody once asked a question: must we in Nigeria be criminal in order to survive? That is the truth. There is nothing left in Nigeria to do. So Bola Ahmed Tinubu arrived Muritala Mohammed Airport from London. And you know what? It was like if it was another inauguration. There were troops dancing. The video I watched, I saw 2 or 3 cultural groups dancing 2 hours even before he came. They were there dancing, welcoming him. But what really baffled us, or what went viral, was that from the airport to his number 26, Bodilon Road, which of course will be a 25 minutes drive, approximately it will be like 26 kilometers too, we saw a convoy of vehicle that journalists and pressmen and Nigerians have given different name to. Some said it was a convoy of 200 vehicles. Some said it was 60, and that's a pure lie. Because I counted up to 124 vehicles. Yes, I watched a video of 2 minutes and 20 seconds where I counted up to 124 cars. And these cars were SUVs, giant pickups, 3.1 liter and above engine, coaster buses, bikes. As I said before, the vehicles, not the bike, I counted up to 122. So I am talking from what I saw on TV. It was close to 150 vehicles, convoy from the airport to number 26, Bodilon Road. That's the residence of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Why we are making this video is we want to analyze what that means. That was why we asked you when we started this video. If you have 10 million, or if I have 10 million naira, I could create a job for myself and employ one other person to assist me. There are various jobs you could do with 10 million. It could be a barber shop. It could be a hairdressing salon. It could also be something that have to do with buying and selling. It depending on where you are. I personally could open a small photographic studio where we'll do a lot of photo printing, images on t-shirts, on cups, and also trying to attend parties, preparation, this celebration of a thing. Those are the things you could do with 10 million. So the question I'll ask you, if I give you 10 million, won't you be able to make something out of it? Of course, the answer is yes. This is why we are telling you about 10 million. If it were Peter Obi, Peter Obi would not have more than 20 vehicles. Would not have more than 20 vehicles. In fact, the longest convoy I have seen was when the king went for the burial of Prince Philip. They had about 30 vehicle convoy. Why? Because the queen went with his own convoy, which of course were made about 5, 6 vehicle. Ministers also, like the prime minister then was Boris Johnson, also has his own convoy, about 8 vehicles. Then the priest, Charles, it was a priest then, also had his own convoy. Then priest Median of Kent, also some from then all the families. At the end of the day, it was about 30 vehicles because all the family were going for the funeral of a great man. They had about 30 vehicles. So let's come back to Bola Ahmed Tinubu that had over 122 vehicles because I counted up to 122 vehicles. So I believe it's between 122 and 150. But let's leave it at 130. Peter Obi would not have had more than 20 vehicle on his convoy to his house in Anambra. He will not. Let us analyze it so that you will see what we are talking about. Imagine that we are assuming now that 100 vehicle was surplus in that convoy because Peter Obi would not have used more than 20, 30 thereabouts. So he had in his convoy, Bola Ahmed had in his convoy about 130 vehicles. So let's bring it down to Peter Obi will have used 30. I doubt Peter Obi will have even used like 5 or 6, almost 10. But let's say Peter Obi used 22 or 23. You still have about 100. In these 100 vehicles, you are going to have 100 drivers. The vehicles are not going to drive themselves. At least we still have not been using Tesla in Aso Rock. We're still using the conventional vehicles. And these 100 drivers are not the lowest rank in civil servants. I think the minimum wage that was said was 30 or 40,000. And a driver is not in the lowest hierarchy. I think a driver will be like level 4, 5, or even 6, depending on how he has stayed with the ministry. So let's assume the drivers earn 50,000. So imagine, and let's divide it by, say, for example, 50,000. We divide 50,000, let's say for 20 days, because most of them don't work on Saturday and Sunday. So 100 driver per day will give us 2,000. That will be what he is going to earn every day. 2,000. Okay. That 2,000 multiplied by 100 vehicles. You understand? Multiplied by 100 vehicles. So what you pay those 100 drivers will be 200,000 naira for that day. 200,000 naira. And don't forget, each vehicle have a personal assistant and probably a security man. You also have to pay these 2 people too. So that's 2,000 that each person will earn a day. Now you have 2 other people in there. So that will be the 2,000 that normally we said one person will earn, plus the personal assistant and the security personnel that will be there. So that will be 400,000. 400,000. Then we said that there were some big men, in the conference too, that have left their what they were doing and they came to receive Mr. President. So most of these big men are like clerk, they are like those secretary to each ministry and all those, which of course might be any 150,000 a month. You know what we mean? 150,000. So by the time you take the days away and you multiply them, so there might probably be any like 6,000 per day. So by the time you multiply by 100 or thereabouts, what we will get? We will get 600,000 naira. 600,000. Remember, I told you there were cultural groups that went. They spent 2 hours even before he came. We'll say, okay, let's say 5 million. Why did we say 5 million? Remember, when Portable said he was asked to come and perform, he didn't go because he said he was ripped off. They were paying some 10 million and they wanted to pay him 5. So let us assume that these cultural people take 5. There were about different sets of cultural, but let us assume that all of them are just one. Let's say 5. 5 million was paid them. Then these are Toyota Land Cruiser. These are cars that have 3 points, something, 4 point something, big engine. And a normal SUV of the latest model will take about 110 gallons of diesel or of fuel. So imagine, we are assuming that a liter is sold by 500 naira. I want to quickly chip in this one. Next 2 weeks, the liter will rise to 680. That will be the lowest, because now the federal government is discussing with the marketers and they are thinking of putting the price at 650. So those of you who are still buying your fuel or diesel 500 and something, and please make haste to get as much as you can in your house, because next 2 weeks it will rise to 650 or 700. It's a shame that Bola Ahmed Tinubu did not even think of opening the refinery first. Anyway, that's a discussion for another day. So the Toyota Land Cruiser, 100 of them for 500 naira. How much would that give us? 50,000. 50,000 will be for one Toyota Land Cruiser, one. And we are saying we have about 100 here. So 50,000 times 100, which of course sum total to 5 million. So if you look at it, the driver, we said they were earning like 200,000. Then the personal assist and all the other one will earn like 400,000. The cultural group who said they will earn 5 million. Then the little big men, secretary to ministries and all those stuff, about 600,000 naira. Then the fuel, about 5 million. If you add everything together, it will be 11,200,000 naira. If it was Peter Obi, somebody, Peter Obi, that is the only way we can come out of this shit. Creating job. And that's the business of governance. That's the business of government. What did our constitution say? Security, welfare of the people. And these two are lacking. Not because Bola Ahmed Tinubu are just coming, but he is not working towards these goals. He has said nothing about security. We are just heard that he wants to retire 100 general. I think he's asked for a revenge. He's asked for a revenge. How can you come up with an heart full of stone, paying back? It would not work. It would not work. God will not grant your heart's desire if you have that heart of stone. About 100 general are going to be retired. You see, you said, others might say, yes, he's trying to cut the cost of governance. You, Peter Obi, obedient members, that is what you want. No, what he's doing is revenge. If he want to cut the cost of governance, he was started from Aso Rock. That's what Peter Obi is saying. Show example. It was started from the executive, legislative, and the judiciary. So this is why we are saying Nigeria is not buoyant. Nigeria is it's sick. Even though the dollar has been pegged, I mean the exchange rate has been pegged. What impact has it have? Nothing. Why? Because the naira is worthless. Why is the naira worthless? Because we don't have reserve for dollars. We have no reserve. We don't dictate the tune. If we have reserve, then you can tell somebody coming to buy from you. And what are we selling? We have nothing to even sell. We are not selling nothing. We're always buying. And who is going to sell to you would demand, I want you to pay me in dollars. I want you to pay me in euros. I want you to pay me in pounds. If we have what we are selling, we could always say, pay us in naira. That way, naira will begin to have value. But it's it's going to get it wrong. I assure you, we are praying to God that the judiciary revise the decision that Peter Obi, as he has fully won the election, he will be announced and be given back his mandate. If not, we are going to remember Buhari even as a man who did a great job for the country. When we compare to what will happen during the reign of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, this is INI TV. We are global and social commentators. For those of us coming across this video for the first time, we'll say please like, comment, and subscribe. It is important you do this so that YouTube will recommend this video to other people. So please share, comment. And for our returning subscribers, we'll say thank you, thank you, thank you. We are one big family. And as it is in this culture of this channel, we'll catch you when we make another video. Until then, we'll say chooks, ciao, adios, au revoir, hasta la vista, ciao. Forgive me, this video is a little bit too long. I just wanted to let you know that there are lots and lots of ways that we will reduce wastage. That is the only way money will come back. The only thing we produce in this country, which is like 85%, is oil. And if we don't have refinery, all the profits will go into him. First of all, you're exploiting them to other countries, paying for the refining there, bringing it back, paying for the shipping and all the rest. At the end of the day, it will be monkey the work, babo the job. Thank you. May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And may Peter Obi becomes the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That way, we'll begin to find the paths to victory, the path to killing poverty, the path to lifting children malnourished, the path to paradise. We can do it. We just need a good leader. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ciao. Bye-bye.